as Yeshua came out of Nazareth, he was different. He was deep. He was moving in things that they didn't understand, outside of their box or outside of their tidiness of the way they felt things should be spiritually. And he was accused of calling himself God because he said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. People are maturing spiritually, not being in fear to proclaim what is real, even though it isn't the status quo. There's a whole group of people, they're not buying it. They're coming outside of that paradigm. They're coming outside of that box. We are going back to who we truly are. It's never changed. It's only been covered in layers and layers throughout your life of what was acceptable and what was expected. But when you begin to take those layers off, you begin to reveal what was always there. When you go in to take a shower at night and you remove your clothes to get in the shower, your body doesn't just magically appear. It's been there with you all day, but you begin to remove things that have covered the true you. And that's what the great number of people are doing today. They're removing things that have covered their true identity, who they were all along. It's a beautiful time that we're living in. There was a time that the fear of man, or the fear of what man would think, that was my boundary. And I have found such liberty and such freedom in stripping that all away and truly being who I am. The journey of self-discovery is not an easy one. The journey of going within is not an easy one because we have been so conditioned to live on the outside, to live not by our feelings. We're to ignore our feelings because religiosity would teach us that the heart would lead you astray. You don't listen to the heart. When it's not true at all. The brain in the heart coherence, is so much greater than the brain in your head until you've connected the left and right together, and the feminine and the masculine, and that's a whole lot to unwind. Your heart will not lead you astray. Your heart will lead you further within, and it will unveil things to you that you had not seen your entire life because you've been living to a standard that you've lived from the outside in instead of from the inside out. The important thing that I've learned in my life is I don't have to convince anyone of anything. There is a group of people that will try to convince you of what they're saying. That's the religious sector. Because unless you believe what they're saying, you cannot be a part of that club. You cannot be a part. You have to fit in that boundary. But the most important thing is you don't have to convince anybody of anything. You just set the table, and those who are hungry will come, and they will eat, and they will be nourished, and they will have the sustenance to further on in the journey. They've never looked in this way before. In fact, they've been taught a lot of times that it's evil to look within. You might have been taught that you look on the outside to a sky god that you pray to that's in a different compartment from you. You are the temple. And if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. And it is nothing about convincing people to believe a certain belief system. Yeshua, as he walked the earth, he never taught in a belief system. He said the fullness of the kingdom is within. It was never about saying a sinner's prayer and being saved from whatever. He came to model the resurrection, to show us how we could live as resurrected beings. Jesus never once sat with anyone, and I'll ruffle feathers here. Some have probably even people very close to me. He never once taught people to be saved. Nicodemus, being born again. When you get to the Aramaic, repentance was metanoia, to come up to a higher way of thinking. There's so many words that are lost in translation. I believe that we'll begin to uncover those treasures. But until you become that treasure hunter, you want to uncover them. If you're going through that stripping down and that going into the deeper places of God, just take courage in the fact that there are others watching. There are others listening. And not all of them are pointing a finger at you and calling you crazy or saying that you're a devil or that you're a heretic or whatever. You can fill the blanks in. They said it all to Yeshua. They said it all to him. You know, and so they're going to say it to us. He was the first of the brethren to go that way. He was the prototype, right? And so we are all followers of Yeshua. We are all going to encounter that too if we're truly doing the right thing. If we're doing what the world accepts and we're fitting in that box and the parameters, they're not going to say that because we're appealing to them, right? Have an incredible, blessed day.